this weekend with some of the world's most well-known opera classics. Veteran Egyptian soprano Fatma Saeed delivered her renditions in front of Ramses II, the more than 3,000 years old statue. And of course, it was Nader Abbasi, the maestro who conducted the whole symphony, the orchestra, and introduced a super performance, whether by him, his musicians, or Fatma. Well, to shed more light on the important event and how it was received and what was the reaction of the fans and the importance of holding such performances or such concerts, we are very much delighted to have with us via phone Mr. Ihab Kamel, our historian, researcher, and tourism expert. Thank you very much for being with us, sir, and a very good morning first.
Good morning to you.
And let's start immediately with the importance of having such concerts, and particularly in such a place, the soon-to-open Gym or Grand Egyptian Museum.
Well, of course, it's very hard to cover everything. Let me say that this event, it's just giving a sample for the whole world for what the Great Egyptian Museum is going to be like. The whole world, as you know, they can't wait for this museum to open. The biggest museum in the world, a museum which is provided with the latest exhibition technologies that applies the latest theories in museology, but also to have an event like this, making it a magical event. An Egyptian soprano, which is a message that we sent to the whole world, that Egypt has got a soft power, and Egypt, with the fine arts, it has got a lot which Egypt can provide to the whole world. I can tell you that when my friends in the United States saw Fatma Saeed and saw the orchestra, they were extremely surprised to know that Egypt has got a Philharmonic Symphony, Philharmonic Symphony Orchestra. They were surprised that we have sopranos and that the opera art exists in Egypt with such a standard of sopranos. They were extremely surprised to see a maestro with that standard running an orchestra like this. Believe me, the impact was something unbelievable. This is something that we have got to market, that Egypt also is the place of fine arts. I think this was a spot-on event which needed more international media coverage, and I'm still making the stress on this, that these events should be having more media coverage, shedding more light on Egypt as a whole, Egypt with its art, with its history, presenting Egypt as an interesting package to the whole world.
So repeating such performances, such concerts is a must, particularly these days and in different locations, not only, by the way, in Cairo, but they can be in Alexandria, in Luxor, in Aswan, in any other place where it's really showing the beautiful places of Egypt with their historic culture. And this is going to be, if I may say, a free propaganda, true?
Exactly. And especially that we started talking to the world with the language that they understand, the fine arts and philharmonic orchestras. We should be not only targeting the well-educated, cultured Egyptians, but we should be targeting the whole world. The people still cannot comprehend how do we have a philharmonic orchestra. They still cannot comprehend how do we have that we have got such sopranos, such fine arts. This is something out of their comprehension. We have to explain this to the world, and there's no any other way except the way we're doing it. They have to see it, because seeing is believing. And I suppose that the whole world will change their view to Egypt when they see our soft power. This is part of our soft power, which we should not ignore by all means. This is something that Egypt can surprise the world with. This something which I believe that will attract more and more viewers worldwide.
And I
Especially
think that this was practically implemented on the ground with the Mommy's Convoy. This celebrating the mummies and their convoy from a place to the other, even if it is inside Cairo, it amazed the whole world. And I think it changed a lot in the flow of tourists coming to Egypt. True?
This is true. Unfortunately, the timing was very critical because it was during the COVID crisis,
issue, yeah.
crisis worldwide. I believe if it was done in a different time, but unfortunately we did not know when was this COVID pandemic going to end, I think the impact would have been 10 times as much. I believe that we should make more stress on these kinds of events because the message, it's to the whole world. It's not an internal message, it's an external message. So talk to the whole world with the language that they understand.
I'm sorry,
This is
sir,
a
I'm sorry
language
for the interruption here, but there are here two voices. A voice or a point of view saying, as you've kindly mentioned, talking to the world in their own language, like what happened just 2 or 3 days ago. And others would say that why not doing the very same with Amira Slim and with singing in the old Egyptian language. This is going to be more amazing, if I may say so. And to say that in addition to knowing well your own language, we have our own. We have our art. We have our magic of our civilization. Tell me which is which, or both should go hand in hand.
First of all, there's no contradiction. Simply, you had shown them that you had a soprano. Yes, she was singing in ancient Egyptian, but still, she's a soprano.
Yeah.
Accompanied by a huge philharmonic orchestra. Mm-hmm. What I'm talking about, it's the fine arts. The fine arts that we're talking to the whole world with. They understand this language. But there's nothing that would prevent us also from using their own language, like the opera. The opera, it's a very fine art, and we would concentrate on this. There are countries that has tourism that is based on these fine arts, like
Sure.
Italy, like Austria, that brings people from all over the world to watch the philharmonic orchestras and to watch the famous sopranos like Pavarotti or Pocelli or Placido Domingo or whoever. And they pay a lot of effort and money to come and watch those.
Or our Amira Slim, or the one of today, Fatma Saeed, or Farah, or Salma Sadiq of violin. I mean, we do have plenty of wonderful performers, wonderful artists who amaze the whole world with their talent. Let me return back, if you permit me, to the Grand Egyptian Museum, because this is going to be, as we always say, our gift to humanity. What should be the preparations? I mean, we should have a lot to do. Our homework is heavy, if I may say so, or describe it this way. What we should do to just give the whole world a glimpse of what they are going to enjoy when they visit the GEM, the Grand Egyptian Museum.
I believe more events from inside of the museum.
Hello?
As I said, sampling,
Hello?
showing. Hello? Can you hear me?
It seems we lost connection with Mr. Ihab Kamel, our historian researcher and tourism expert. We were speaking about a wonderful concert which took place in the framework of celebrating the New Year's. Well, it was a Philharmonic orchestra led by Maestro Nader Abbasi, and it starred with the Egyptian soprano Fatma Saeed. This was in front of or in the plateau of Ramses the second statue, which dates back to 3,200 years ago, or maybe a little much more than that. This was a mix between the magic of, I think we return back to Mr. Ihab. Mr. Ihab, can you hear me once again?
Yes, I can hear you clearly.
It seems that we do have some technical difficulties, but anyways, well, this concert is going to be only a start, and we are going to do a lot more. Not to propagate for the Grand Egyptian Museum, but to, as I said, tell our visitors or our guests just a glimpse of what they are going to enjoy here in Egypt. They are going to enjoy fine art, they are going to enjoy opera, ballets, and they are going also to enjoy every single piece in the Grand Egyptian Museum. As we are always saying, and as we are going to continue to say, this gym is going to be our gift to humanity, the gift of Egypt to the whole world. Well, by this we come to the end of our episode of this edition of our breakfast show. Tomorrow is another day with another crew. Stay tuned on Nile TV International always for more updates, and for more details please log on to www.nileinternational.net. Many thanks for watching. This was Nermina Abdurrahman.